And I came by a boat. I didn't realize it was a cruise ship at the time, but that's what it was.
What year was this?
68. My grandmother, she used to make sweets like, ginger cake and all those kind of things. Put it in a little jar and you go and sell it, That's that's what she used to do for carnival time. So she was fortunate that her brother came before her and he said he was going to send for his sister. And he asked his sister to help his sister. So that's how it was. As carnival time, you look forward to carnival because you'll see somebody that's playing carnival from your village. And once he's got the mask on, you don't really know him again. But what we used to do to know who our fighter was, we look at the shoes that he was wearing. That's how we noticed our fighter, by the boots he was wearing.
Thank you for doing this.
But it's a pleasure still. Well, it's not a pleasure until we find out what the questions are.
Well, tell me what your name is.
My name is Anthony Boatswain. Yeah.
Where were you born?
I was born in Top Hill. In Top Hill, Carriacou. But in Carriacou, my name was Anthony Mark before I came to the UK. I went to school as Anthony Mark. Right, so people who know me down, they'll call me Anthony Mark. In the UK, they call me Anthony Boatswain. Okay.
So, who were your parents?
My parents, my father was a man they call, Paul Mark. My mother was a woman that was called Melita Boatswain. Melita was from Mount Royal. Paul was from Top Hill. So I was born in Top Hill.
And have you got any siblings?
Yeah, I got plenty of brothers and sisters. Yeah.
How many is plenty?
About 9 of us altogether. Not many of us still about, but there's 9 of us.
And where do you sit in that ratio of?
I'm the first boy amongst 5 girls. Yeah. The rest of them is boys after.
So what year were you born in Carriacou?
I was born in 58. 1958.
And so tell me about what was life like in Carriacou when you were young?
When you can remember? Well, let's see how I can remember. Long time ago. Life in Carriacou is you had to go fetch firewood. You had to go and fetch water. When you're strong, when you're big enough, when you can make messages, you get water, feed the animals, plant peas, plant cotton, and whatever it was needed at the time, when you were strong enough. So I'd say about between 6 and 7 years, we'll do a little gathering your firewood for your grandparents to light the fire, for those who are the outside fire. That's how I remembered it. Play marbles, play kite. Little boys, go swimming if you're good, providing you do all your day's work. On a Sunday, your grandparents will let you go and play on the beach, That's how I remember Carriacou.
So you say your grandparents let you. Where were your parents at this
No,
point?
the parents of them, they're up in the UK.
Right. Before we get there, tell me a bit more about your life in Carriacou. Did you experience carnival?
Well, as a child, yeah, of course you do. I mean, that's my grandmother, she used to make sweets like, ginger cake and all those kind of things. Put it in a little jar and you go and sell it, That's what she used to do for carnival time. Makes a little 2 pennies by doing such things. Yeah.
So did you ever do any old mass or anything like that?
That was children, you're too young for that, it's more, you play little games, but actually playing the big mass, no, you don't play mass until you reach a certain age, But you could have a fool around in this, play a thing as children, but yeah. Yeah.
And so, did you experience any other festivals like Maroon?
Of course you do as a child. Of course you do.
Tell me about them. What was it like?
What do you mean, like regatta time and all this? It's a festival. It's a festival you look forward to these days, as carnival time, you look forward to carnival because you'll see somebody that's playing carnival from your village. And once he's got the mask on, you don't really know him again. But what we used to do to know who our fighter was, we look at the shoes that he was wearing. That's how we noticed our fighter, by the boots he was wearing, You know, so we know that it's Boatswain or that it's Bang Bang or, you know, by the shoes that they wore. That's what I remember as a youth. You know, I never played it, you know, never played that. Too young for that. But some young children probably played, but I didn't. You know?
What was school like? Where did you go to school?
I went to school. Oh, I was at Hillsborough School. So I went to town school. Yeah, Hillsborough.
Did you enjoy school?
Yeah, I liked school. I did like going to school. Yeah, I did that because I was quite bright. I was quite bright when I was young. So I did like school, yeah.
Did you stay? Did you go to like further education?
No, like I said, I left when I was 16, making me 10-year-old, you know.
So tell me about the circumstances of your parents. So did your parents come over first?
Of course, yeah. So my mother came maybe 61, 62. And then maybe 2, 3 years later, my father came.
So it was different. Oh, because
yeah. No, my mother came.
first.
No, my mother came. My mother came into, and where the life goes on, you know. Yeah.
Why was it that way, Ryan?
Why I cannot ask the question. I cannot answer that question. I suppose it was the circumstances who sent for whom.
Oh, so somebody sent for your mom?
Absolutely, her brother sent for her.
Her brother?
Yeah. You see, that's how this situation was. You know, father decided maybe so. When he came, instead of joining mother, he decided to enjoy the life in London. So he stayed in London. So mother went to Yorkshire. So she was fortunate that her brother came before her and decided he was going to send for his sister. And he asked his sister to help his sister. So that's how it was.
So does your mom have like quite a lot of siblings then?
No. I think her closest sibling was her brother. I know she has got plenty of siblings. Oh God, there's lots of them. You know, but not everybody was in the UK and not everybody was in a position to help their sister. So she got the help from her brother, which brought her here, brought some of her children here with her, you know. You know, father decided maybe so. When he came, instead of joining mother, he decided to enjoy the life in London. So he stayed in London. So mother went to Yorkshire.
Your mom went to Yorkshire?
I grew up in Yorkshire.
Interesting.
You understand? So so this thing is, you know, so that's how it is. Yeah, it is interesting. So when you say parents, not every parent stayed together when they came.
Yes.
A lot of them went separate ways.
Right.
You understand? Because that's just the way it was at the time. You understand?
So tell me about your journey coming over. So when you came from Carriacou to the UK, how did you arrive?
No, I came by a boat. I didn't realize it was a cruise ship at the time, but that's what it was.
What year was this?
68.
And what was that like, the experience on the ship?
No, well, I mean, a good 3 weeks on the waters, different countries, but still young, you don't know where you're going. You have to be cared for by elders.
Which elders were looking after you?
Well, your cousins or your family member that was traveling at the same time look after the children. You know, the group of children. You know? So we came in a group. You know, it's not just an individual. So cousin Gracelyn, she would look after 8 of us in a group of children, because she was responsible on the boat. So when we landed, you know, the parents was at the port. They took their children on the train, boat, car, whatever, to their destination. And mine was Huddersfield.
So you came where did you come into the UK?
Southampton, I think, at the time, yeah.
And you were met by
my mother. Yeah.
And then you drove up to...
Well, we took the train. We didn't drive. We took the train from Southampton to Huddersfield.
So what were your first impressions of England when you came in? Can you remember how you felt?
England at the time? Well, just looking at it, because man, it's a different scenery from what you're used to, you know.
What month was it? What kind of weather was it?
Well, it would be I think because in Yorkshire it's very, very smoggy, so there's a lot. In these days, there used to be a lot of smog. You know, in Huddersfield, lots of fog, bigger factories, and that's what these people in them was working in. That's where the work was. So people moved to where the work was. You know what I'm saying? They work in the mills, the textile industries. You know.
Can you explain why Huddersfield? I know you said the mills, but I'm sure there are other mill towns. But why was it a
Well,
lot of Carriacou
they
people there?
congregated there, you mean? Why did they
Yeah,
congregate in
why is that?
Huddersfield?
Why is that?
Because if one go and they find they can settle, they'll send for the others, same as the Asians, you know? They go somewhere and they'll congregate together. It's the same thing, you know? You can find my cousin is there, well, yeah, you can find work for me. Yeah. You can share a room with him. I don't know nothing. So it's hard times for these people. Some of them had to send their children back home to grow. Because
After
they could
came.
no, if they born, say the children was born here and times were so hard, they'd have to send their children back home to grow with their grandparents until betterment came to them.
So that was quite common then.
It's a lot of people went back there like that. Born in the UK. But they had to go back home because parents can't afford to keep them in one place.
How long would they stay there for?
Well, until the family is good enough to have accommodation, they can look after their children properly. I mean, for me, I was born home, so when I came, my mother was in a position to give us the shelter and accommodation which was needed. Yes, that was it.
So what was life like in Huddersfield?
Growing in Yorkshire?
It was quite smoggy and...
Oh, growing up in Yorkshire?
Yeah.
Well, it was an eye opener because when the smoke cleared, you couldn't see better. You see, it was an eye opener. Yeah, it was good to grow up in Yorkshire. You know.
Just remind me of the age you came.
10. So I went to junior school. So I went to.
So what was the school like? What was your first school like?
I did a year in the infant school, and then after 10, 11, you start into secondary school, and that was the thing.
So what was it like mixing with the local kids, the English kids?
Well, you got to learn you couldn't understand what they were saying, of course, or they couldn't understand what you were saying. But then if you have some friends that was here before you could probably translate what the people in them is saying, because you can't go and tell somebody you have a sick foot, as you would do if you was back home, you know.
Sick foot?
Sick foot. No, you got to say you got a sore foot.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's right.
It took a while for you to...
After a while you just break into the lingo, don't you? It goes with the territory. And after a while you just have to blend in with the lingo. Yeah, so you become a Yorkshire man, you know.
Did you come up with any hostilities as a child?
Well, of course you'll get a little bit of silliness, but then you have to know how to deal with that silliness, you know. So you just deal with it. You know, of course you're gonna get hostility growing up. You know, let's do it. That was the times, you know. That was the time of the time. So yeah, so it was.
But I bet obviously coming into Huddersfield, where there's an established Carriacou community, you felt more or less...
Yeah, home from home.
Home from home.
Yeah, that is Huddersfield. Huddersfield is called Little Carriacou in England. Home from home. Yes. Yeah, that is Huddersfield.
So what kind of traditions, what kind of Carriacou ways do you keep now? Do you do carnival?
No, we're still trying to maintain our tradition. We do the carnivals, we do the festivals. If we can get home in time to enjoy some of the regatta, you know, jab, you know, you're doing the festival, you know. So yeah. So I'm still rootsy. Yeah, I'm still Carriacou.
Did you ever think that when you left Carriacou that was your plan to go back? Did you ever have that plan?
Shall I tell you, when the people and them first came to the UK, all their thoughts was come for 5 years. That was the plan of most of the people when they came. There was going to be a 5-year sentence in this place. You see, a lot didn't make it back, but that was the intention. For me, I'm part of the system. I'm growing up. You know that? But the parents, you know, their plan was to come in England, work for 5 years, and go back home and set up themselves better. A lot didn't do it, especially my mother, because she died when I was 21. She was only 47. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot didn't make it, but they had the plans. You understand? That was life in England because, you know, so it went.
How realistic would that plan have been if someone had stuck to that and said, "Right, I'm going now
A
for
lot did it.
5
Some did it.
years"?
Some did it. Some. I don't think many did it, but some who did it. I mean, some. I think some did try to make it, but then back in the days, things was cheaper, so you could build a house a lot cheaper. You might get a few dollars, and your money would be about, say, $7 to the pound. So of course you could do that for those who decided to do it there and then. You understand? But for us now, no, it's not $7 to the pound. It's $3.50 to the pound, and you can't buy nothing with that. So me, if I was, 25 years ago, if man was in a position to do these things, of course he would. But 25 years ago, he's a youth trying to grow. So he can't do these things. You know what I'm saying? So that is how it was. That is how it was back in the time.
So tell me about food. So what was your favourite foods in Carriacou? What did you eat a lot of? What did you have at gatherings, or what
No,
did your
you
parents
eat the
cook?
food that your grandparent brought in front of you.
Like
And if it was what your grandmother could put on the table on the time. You understand?
what was she putting on the table?
Well, whatever she could put, whatever she could put. You'd be lucky if you get dumpling and peas with some meat on it on a Saturday. But I mean, but that is how it was. Time's hard for them elders, the grandparents. You guys are born in England, don't know what your grandparents had to go through to survive. You understand? Hard times for them people and them. You know? So so that is how I saw Carriacou. So
So who taught you how to cook now?
who taught me how to cook?
Yes.
Oh, a friend of mine. When I was 17 years of age, he said to me, you cannot rely on a woman to cook food for you, because you never know. If you want to build your body, learn to cook for yourself. And that's what Z taught me that. That was the teaching of Z, an elder. And he came amongst us as youths growing up. You have your little flat, or your kitchen, just boil some make dumpling, None have to need flour, So that's how it was. So you learn to fend for yourself, Because back in the 80s, times was really hard. You got to remember that was the time of Maggie Thatcher and all this kind of thing. And then back in the early 70s, 80s, so times was hard in the UK for young children, for the youngers. Unemployment was at its worst. That's why you get people like bands like UB40 forming, that there was just a group of youths unemployed. And they just decided to come together. Because the system was not for us young people. So survival was the key back in them times. So you learn to cook first, get energy and strength in your body, and then fight the day, face the day. And that was the teachings.
So what do you miss most about Carriacou now?
I can't say I miss Carriacou as such. I mean, I can go there when I feel like, so I don't really miss Carriacou. Carriacou, it's a home, that's where we was born, for those who feel the same way. But for me, that's home, That's where I was born. I grew in England, yes, but home is home.
So that's what it means to you?
That's Carriacou, yeah. I mean, I won't be raising the British flag as much as I will raise a flag from Grenada, I'll tell you that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
So what would you say to someone who's never been to Carriacou? How would you describe it? Why should they go?
Go see for yourself. Go and see for yourself. Go and see for yourself. Then you can have your own experience. Okay? That's Carriacou. You must go and see for yourself. I can't tell you because my vibes might be different from your vibes, Because everybody is different. Things I might want to do, you might want to do that. I might want to go and sit on the beach and just listen to some soak in the sun. While you might want to go and do some hiking in the hot sun. Everybody different. So go and see for yourself. That's Carriacou.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you for
Okay,
this.
Miss Kojo.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm
Oh, Sylvester Kojo.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay,
Thank you.
respect you. Yeah?
Thank you.
All right then.